to share some of these things with us so we can grasp a few things and also make some informed decisions. Portia, you're welcome to the Business Breakfast on Z.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming. Let's start the conversation from. I mean, before we got into the conversation proper. I mean, off air, you were telling me about your media. You were in media before. Tell us a bit about it, and then we get into the real estate stuff.
Yeah, so a while back, maybe almost a decade ago, about 8 to 9 years ago, I was doing a little media up in the States. We were really focused on the community-based events, which eventually went more global outside of just Ghanaian community into the African-American community, politicians, basic celebrities, like, your basic folks that you see here and there in the media and music industry and so forth. So I did a little bit of red carpet event stuff. Yeah. And so now being on the other side, I was telling you, I was a bit nervous, being interviewed, like being in the hot seat. Right. So let's see how today goes.
Wow, great. But why did you leave media?
I know. I mean, I don't think I've left it just yet. I still have love and passion for it. I enjoy it. Like walking in here, seeing the studio, everything, you guys. It brings a little excitement. This the kid in me, like the child in me, like I'm excited to be here. So this is good.
Great.
Yes.
Good to have you. So, but how did you start off, or how did you get into real estate in the U.S.?
So I got into real estate about 9 years ago when I purchased my first property.
Okay.
I was happy to be connected to like a realtor at that time that was really like hands-on, vibrant, and like understood what I was looking for.
Right.
So it kind of helped me shift from owning to now being a property owner and having to rent it out to tenants. And so that from there led me into enjoying real estate and helping people, purchase as first-time home buyers, because my realtor at that time helped me a lot and made that process very seamless, because I thought it was so challenging. But when I finally was serious about it, let's do this, it took me about 2-3 months and I closed. But prior to that, I had been thinking about it for maybe 3 years. I would start and stop, and I never really put my foot in. So I think it all depends on the team that you have, the person, the agent that helps you out.
Right. So tell us, what has your journey been like, being a Ghanaian in that space in the U.S.? Tell us about it.
Honestly, it's been really fun until lately with just new changes in the government. There's been a few changes, especially for immigrants and folks that are open to buying in the States. My main goal is to support and help not just the African Americans, not just first timers, but mostly just Africans, right? We migrate and go into these countries for greener pastures, and we work so hard and we don't think about owning and being part of the land where we can build generational wealth for the next generation, for our kids to come. And all we think about is to just go work and then come back home, which is good, but you want to own a piece of the land there as well. And that's why I'm really passionate about this, to share this to the Ghanaian community, because just because you've never visited the States or have any intentions to, does not mean you can't be part of that financial, wealth. So
I see. So it's very important. But what's your personal connection to Ghana?
Oh, I mean, I'm Ghanaian. I was born here in Ghana.
Oh, really?
My parents are all in the States. My family is in the States, but I enjoy coming to Ghana a lot. This is home, it's a different vibe when you get to Ghana.
I know, right?
Just the aura, the music, the food, clothing, it's amazing. Yeah.
So at what point did you move to the U.S.?
Oh, so I moved to the U.S. when I was 7, and I went to middle school, high school, college, grad school, made friends, family, and so this is good.
I see. And you own properties in the U.S.?
I do. By the grace of God, I would say that I'm a mini landlord.
All right. Okay. So, but how has that influenced your work with Ghanaian clients, your connection to Ghana?
Yeah. So I think for me, it's just being able, as I mentioned before, because I have roots here in Ghana and I understand just that transition of like commuting or just like moving into a different state or country or a whole different continent as a whole. And not having to have a tie there or having to just, you feel like you work 9 to 5 and pretty much give your proceeds back to the country. I think for me, it's important to like share that knowledge with folks, you know, just to be able to have a connection there and not just that workforce only, but more something that you can say that I have a piece of as well. So it means a lot to me personally because it's coming from a personal background to just being able to share that with the world.
So it's just you willing to help other people.
That's it.
Also do.
Yeah, and for people to understand that it's not as difficult as we think it is because, anything in this world, no matter what it is that you want to accomplish, it's challenging. You're gonna come across hurdles. Yeah. You know. There's going to be some bumps along the road, but it does not mean it's not possible. You know, you have to try your very best to overcome those and get to the tunnel, like the end of the tunnel. So I feel like just make an effort into getting more information about whatever it is that you want to do, and then do that research, connect with the right people. Yeah, reliable folks that can help you with that. So
all right, so let's get into the conversation proper. I was telling my audience, so we have a segment called a business brief segment. And that is where I get to share something ahead of our roundtable discussion. So I was telling them that it is possible to purchase a property in there. And I'm mentioning property like you know. Right, to purchase a property in the U.S. While in Ghana.
Yes.
All right. And I want you to add your voice to that. How possible is it to get a property? You're living in Ghana, you don't own any house in Atlanta, in Toronto, Toronto is in Canada, in Texas or anywhere, but you can still pay. How possible is that?
Yeah, I'm so happy you mentioned even Texas because that's one of the blooming states right now.
Wow.
Folks are, with the current research that was done in 2025 by the NARS, the NARS, 5 top
that's
states.
National Association of Realtors.
Yes, real estate. And it's the current 2025 research. Texas was part of the top 5 states that foreign international real estate are getting into. That include California, New York, Texas, Florida, California, and so forth. So I think so back to your question, it's possible, right? You don't have to have a visa to the United States to purchase. You don't have to ever step foot on the ground ever to purchase. All it takes is you having the income, meaning that you're trading the folks in the McCullough markets from that low all the way up to folks that are in their various professionals, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, in politics, whatsoever. So as long as there's a trade coming in and out, there's transactions coming in and out your account that states that you're able to financially afford whatever it is that you can afford within your bracket, we can help you purchase. Yes.
Wow. And you don't need visa, you don't need residency,
you don't need
nothing.
residence, you don't need visa, you don't have to ever step foot there ever.
But you can purchase.
But you can purchase, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they have to set up a company there to be able to purchase, or they can buy in their personal name?
No, it's for your personal. It doesn't have to be a company. It can't be a company if you want to, but it can also be personal. So it can be for your vacation home.
Okay.
Or it can be an investment property.
Right.
Yes. So meaning that you purchase and it's rented out, and then you get your returns after you pay off your mortgage, or if you buy off cash, anything that comes back from that, meaning your rental income become your passive income and it comes back to you.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Wow. Yeah. So anybody at all can buy. You can be living in Adenta somewhere, or some Pokwasi or Tema or somewhere, and own a property in the U.S.
Yes.
That's amazing. But are there some restrictions for foreigners who are purchasing?
Well, the restrictions will be maybe the benefits, right? Okay. Because the usual citizen or an American may have additional benefit, government support and benefit that you won't have as a foreigner.
Like what government supports? So
the government provide, let's say, first-time home buyers, maybe income-based support.
Right. First-time
home buyers, you get a little, financial support to back you up. there's also different mortgage lending for you. Like if you are a citizen in the United States, right? And back to what I said about the new government coming in place, there used to be support for migrants that are residents but not citizens just yet. But some of these were slowly kind of like cut off at some point. So I urge everyone now, I feel like this is if the opportunity is there, this is the best time to do it. Rather than wait until later when it's no longer available.
Right.
Because you can be in Ghana here, you have the income coming in and out, and you're not sure what else to do with it, considering that now that the dollar has dropped. So your 15 cities then is now valued a little bit more than $1. You know what I mean? You have a little bit more sense added to it. And so it's the best time to buy and invest in there. And your dollar remains $1. You know, it doesn't go anywhere. So
I see. So what other restrictions apart from the benefits that you will be able to enjoy?
Other restrictions, I mean, the fact that your presence will not be, you won't be there physically. You may require maybe someone to physically see the property for you. Besides a video and all that stuff, if you have someone that's physically there to also vouch for the condition of the property for you, I think that is also good. So you can buy in all the 50 states anywhere you want to, and I can absolutely support you with that.
Wow.
Yes. So I think based on your preference, if you have family or friends somewhere in that area and you prefer just that additional comfort to know that, I don't know, whatever, credibility and all that helps as well. So that can be one of those challenges. But as long as you have someone there as well, just to take a look at it. What other challenge? Those two comes to mind, but it's definitely, something that's attainable and doable.
So what kinds of properties are within the reach for foreigners? Single home, condos?
Yes, residential.
Okay.
So you can start from your basic single family homes to townhouses to apartment condos to co-ops, right? So it's all within your budget, as I mentioned, based on that income that you're receiving in and out of your bank account. Yeah. Then the lender can say that you qualify for X, Y, and Z home. Right. And then we can start looking within your budget. So that helps. So you can start from $100K all the way to whatever you can afford. And that can be $1 million. And if that's within your budget, we do that. And keep in mind, the beauty about this is they provide that lending for you. So a mortgage, you own a mortgage pretty much. Yeah. And then you pay that off over time, whether it's 15 years or 30 years, you pay that off. I don't know anywhere else that would that would help you with that, right? And over the course of the years, if you have your money and you want a lump sum, you want to pay it off, great. Keep that in mind. Another thing that comes to mind as we're talking about this is some other restrictions that may not be a restriction, but something that Ghanaians need to understand that it's not currently implemented in Ghana is our property taxes and insurance. That's standard across. So when you purchase a property, you do have to pay for your taxes and your insurance that come to place. So.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the taxes, what taxes are there and all of that. But run us through the process. I mean, but just before that, you've been helping several Ghanaians purchase properties. Yes. Tell us about the experience so far.
So far, so good. One of my first clients that came was through a family friend that recommended me to them. And the process, so it's just the same as the States. First, we have to determine your buying power. So based on your account, based on what's coming in and out, we determine your buying power, and then we start to, that's when you're pre-approved. So that's not necessarily mean that you're approved. You can just buy just like that. You're pre-approved, and then we start looking in the market.
You need approval.
You need to be
from who?
From the lender, the banks.
Okay.
Yes. Very good question. You're right, because we're talking to a community that may not have any idea.
Exactly,
that makes sense. So your buying power will be determined by the banks. But if you have cash too, hey, then we can go right ahead and buy cash, right? Pay cash. But the banks determine your buying power based on your income to and flow for your account.
Yeah.
And then they then pre-approved you. So there's a whole system in place, a different department that determines that. And then we start to shop around based on your state preference, right? As I mentioned, whether it's California, Florida, or New York, or Texas. Based on your buying power, we can determine that whether we want to do a home, a single home, or an apartment condo per se. And then from there, we can put in an offer just to see if it's accepted. They can counter offer.
Right.
So, and then once we agree on a contract, we can move forward. That means we'll have to do an inspection, and then we'll do an appraisal. So inspection is having a licensed inspector come in to check the home, everything, to make sure everything is in place, or whatever that was stated in the contract is what it is in the home. And then from an inspection, we can do an appraisal just to determine the value of the home. So just because that a seller says the home is $100K, does not necessarily mean it will be valued for $100K. Or you'll be paying $100K for it.
Right.
So we'll pretty much meet halfway with both buyer and the seller to make sure that nobody is being ripped off, and you're paying for what it's valued, what the property is valued. And that's a good thing as well, because nobody wants to feel like. So appraisal comes in just to determine that this is what the property is worth. And then we can close eventually. Underwriters from the banker's side, just to make sure. At this point, you want to make sure their finances are in place. I always tell people, when you are ready to buy, make sure that in 3 to 4 or 5 months span, there are no large expenses. You're not spending tremendously. You're not. So another great thing too, as a Ghanaian buying or as a foreigner buying, there's no credit system being checked on your behalf.
Oh wow!
So
in the States, course. I mean, we don't have that.
That's the good thing. In the States, they check the credit system to determine some of these things. But here, there's no credit system for you. It's a foreign transaction, so we don't look at all those things. But your account, you have to be able to show that you can buy and you can keep it, right? Unfortunately, if you buy but not able to maintain payments, you lose your home.
Really?
Yeah, if you can't afford it.
But by maintenance, what do you mean?
So maintenance means, one, paying for the home, the mortgage itself. So you're holding on to the home. Maintenance does not necessarily mean that anybody will take the home from you. Maintenance includes maybe just your construction or interior or maintenance of the home itself. Let's say you have a tenant and they need something fixed, making sure you fix it for them. But those are not necessarily ways where you would lose your home. Okay.
But how can you be doing that while you're here? You need to get somebody...
Management company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We provide a management company for you. Or if you have a management company of your preference that you feel like it's more reliable, you can go with that as well. Yep.
I see. So let's say there's somebody... Okay, well, let me just announce this before. So exactly 20 minutes after 9, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM. And this is our roundtable discussion for today. Today, we're talking about how you, a Ghanaian, can buy a property in the United States, own a property, maybe for your vacation, for rental, for investment, anything at all. And that's a very important conversation, because these days people are looking forward to diversifying their investments, and that is one of the places you may want to look at. Yeah. And so if you want to join the conversation, you have a question or a comment, feel free to send me a WhatsApp on 0544 321019, 0544 321019, and then I'll read your messages for you. You can as well call me on 03039566641, 03039566641, and then I give you the opportunity to share your thoughts. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please do also engage our post, and then we'll read your comments for you as well. Okay, so Portia, let's continue the conversation. Sure. So let's say there's someone living somewhere in Adenta, Hohoi, somewhere, Accra, anywhere, and they want to get into this. They've welcomed the opportunity. They think that this is a beautiful opportunity. Where do I start from?
First, I would say reach out to do your homework and research on this. I always recommend anything that you want to do, have a little knowledge on it yourself before you get into it. So do your
Warren Buffett said that that don't invest in something you don't understand.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. So I would say do that, because then that gives you a little comfort in whatever it is that you're going into, right? A little knowledge or background about it. And then speaking to a reliable, trustworthy person, and that like a realtor or an agent about this to start the process. You can also easily reach out to me as well on Instagram or Facebook. And I'll be happy to support and help you with that. Yeah. So anyone, I would say, first of all, do your homework and research on this. Have a little understanding of what it is that you're
so by
into.
research, what are some of the things that they should go looking for?
Okay, pros and cons, right? Considering that you're not there and you're trying to get into this from a distance and a whole different continent, consider that. Consider if you have friends and family in the area or wherever you want to get into, that can at least have a second eye for you. Because if not, I consider myself a trustworthy individual, credible, right? But whoever you end up, speaking to or working with, you just want to make sure that it's a reliable, trustworthy, licensed person, right? Because business in Ghana, real estate business in Ghana is quite different from real estate business in the States, because in the States is more regulated. There are a lot of laws that bind both the agents and clients.
Right.
But in Ghana, it's not. So you may not be familiar with that. So I would say always, do your homework and research on some of these things first. Reliable person that's there and within the States that can also be a second eye for you.
Right.
And then start speaking to a trusted agent or a realtor.
Okay. So you look at the pros and cons if you want to get into this.
Right.
Okay. So what kinds of documentations or documents do you need to be able to get into that?
Yes. So you will need your basic bank statements, right? So your basic bank statement showing transactions coming in and out. Mostly of the ones coming in, your expenses out as well, like where your expenses are going, how you're spending. And then if you have any assets as well, if there are anything that you own that can also boost up your buying power to show that this person is financially good and trustworthy. Like if we are to give them this amount of mortgage or loan, they would be able to pay it off.
Right.
And if you have the cash too that you want to buy, that is also open. I mean, no one's stopping you with that. And so, that's it.
Right. So those are just the documents you need.
Yep.
Nothing more.
Nothing else.
I see.
Yeah.
Looks like something very simple to do, isn't it?
And it could be, and it is, and it is, but everyone's journey is also different. So we can start off like that, and then maybe let's say we find a property and there's something, there's a little issue there, hiccups, and we have to walk you through the process and make sure that we resolve some of these things before. That goes back to one of my, I just had a reference of one of my clients that was purchasing actually this person was rather selling, and then they didn't know that they had they had restrictions on it because they forgot to close out some permits when they did some, literally it was constructional changes. And when you do constructional changes, you need a permit in order to make these changes. And
U.S. is so regulated.
It is very regulated. Exactly. It's very regulated. Even though it's your own home you can do whatever you want to. No, you can't.
I see.
Yeah. So they didn't know that they had a permit on there. So while we were in the process of closing, we're discovering, and we were almost at the end, and we're like, what is, so this comes up, and then now we have to go to the courthouse, make sure we're closing these out. I mean, it's no big deal. It's doable. It's just an issue. Hiccups we can overcome, but it's there, and then sometimes it slows down the process and some of these things. So you're thinking, we're just running through it, and then boom, we hit something, and that slows it down. So it can be simple, and it is simple, but you have to look out for anything.
Right.
Anything's possible.
I see. Okay, you talk about bank statements. Of course, everybody can just go and print their bank statement, but what's the minimum amount to have? Or what's the minimum amount one can save to be able to even consider this move?
At least 20% of your purchase property, the value of your property.
So what would be the typical, let's say maybe the least cost of a price of a property?
That ranges because different states, different communities, different You can be in the city or maybe, suburban area. So it all differs because I can't really put a price on the property, and it can even be a trailer parks. Like it's those little homes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just being funny there, but
right.
So the price point, it all depends on what you can afford to buy.
Okay.
So whatever you can afford to buy, at least we have to put down 20% as of now. As of now,
so 20% of it. But I just wanted you to give a typical. You're saying it's quite difficult, but to give, say, okay, the least one you can get is, say, 20,000 Ghana cedis, and so 20% of that, something like that, so people can have an idea. Exactly.
Okay. Well, it's challenging for me to do that. I mean, yesterday I met with a client, and they're buying cash, so we didn't have to go through that, but they were looking to buy a 200K home. Okay. And we found it was a 3 to 4. We found 3 and 4 bedrooms within that budget of that 200K in Ohio, right? So, and 300K, trust me, we can get something good if we go further back. But then again, you also have to consider the rental, if the tenants, if you're going to get rental income coming in as well. Because maybe the farther out you go, the challenging it may be. So we can look at properties that's already occupied as well. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So trustworthy occupant tenants have been there maybe 5 years, 10 years plus.
Okay.
They are not going anywhere, right?
Okay, so you can buy from someone who owns an apartment they are renting out.
Yes, exactly. Okay. You can buy an already occupied home.
Okay, right.
So once you buy, all the rental coming in is now passive income for you.
For you. I see.
And you can always negotiate now as you buy, and the tenant is there already. No tenant want to move around, because it's a new landlord. Yeah. So they would want to work with you. So you can always renegotiate your contract again with them, and then, whatever works.
I see. Sounds like a good opportunity.
It really is. It really is. And I urge our Ghanaians to just at least make an effort to just inquire, make an effort to say, you know what, these are my documentation. Let's speak to my banks in Ghana to confirm that this is it. And let's talk about this and see where it goes.
I see. Yes. But are there websites people can visit and say, check the listings and all of that?
So unfortunately, that's just not how it works. Well, you can go to the local sites that you can search. Absolutely. You can go on Zillow.com and all of that just to have an idea of those things. But for someone to help you, they would have to connect you to an agent. Yes. To kind of dive into it more, double click on it and say, okay, what's really happening with this property and stuff like that.
I see. But how long does it take, the entire process from inquiry to actually owning the property?
It ranges. I can't put an exact days on it, because it can range from at least 2-3 months average, I would say.
2-3 months to be able to find it.
Or more, depending on, like I mentioned, maybe a hiccup or something that we might come across that may delay the process a little bit. But on average, we usually, if we start the process today and we find a property that you are interested in, we shoot from there, maybe 2-3 months from there. But it may take longer considering, you haven't found a property that you desire or fits within your scope.
I see. Okay, let's talk about the financing, taxes, and also money talk. So, so can someone living in Ghana get a mortgage from the U.S.?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, you can. You live in Ghana, you work in Ghana, your income is in Ghana cedis, Ghana is your home. You can absolutely get a mortgage, which is a bank support from the United States to help you buy in the United States.
Okay.
Yes. As I mentioned, there are various lenders. I work with a few specialized lenders for foreign buyers. So they would help you out, based on the documentation you provide them. And they will vet it, go through it, make sure that, you meet the the 20% mark or standard, and then they can give you your purchase power, and you can go from there. So absolutely, you can have a mortgage in the United States while you're living in Ghana.
And the down payment is 20%.
For now.
Okay, for now. Okay.
Is a
but
minimum,
it can increase.
It can at least 20%, but every bank is different, you know. And these things changes over time. But for now, yes. You can own at least if you have your 20% down. And then consider that you have some excess saved for management or additional cost if something was to happen afterwards, right? So let's say you purchase and there are some minor updates that needs to be done, management of the property, just to make sure that it's in good condition, livable condition for a tenant. You do that, you have a bit excess saved for that.
I see. Okay, and so the person can buy, and use their own statement from here as proof of funds and all of that.
Yes.
Wow, makes it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, very good opportunity.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's just a way to build literally generational wealth outside of just Ghana.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, real estate in Ghana is blooming as well. Maybe another day we can talk about that, right?
Yeah.
It's vice versa. It's blooming. It's big. But at the end of the day, you know, for folks that are here, that this is home, that may not have the opportunity to get bank support in doing this kind of stuff, why not look that way as well? Why not look at, in the U.S. that provides that right now, before things, get shaken up a little bit.
Exactly. But I think it's a brilliant opportunity. It's a very good opportunity. But let's talk about the tax implications for Ghanaian owned properties or foreign owned properties in the U.S. What are the tax implications?
Yeah, you have your basic annual taxes, property tax, right? That's annual. It differs. It varies from property to property and location. So others can pay from $1,000 a year, $1,000 USD a year. Some can pay up to even $10,000 USD a year. That is based on your property location, the property size, and the value on the property as well. Right? So it differs. Like I said, when you ask me about how much of an average home may cost, it just differs. So taxes may differ. However, if you also, this is one thing I always want to tell folks, if you buy apartment, condo, or co-op, or townhomes that have a shared common area, you would have to pay fees, additional fees. Which is your HOA fees or condo.
What's that? What's HOA?
Homeowners Association fees or your condo fees for the management of the homes.
I see.
Because now you don't own everything. Yeah. The outside is now being managed. Those common areas is now being managed by management. So now you have to pay into that for them to support you manage all these things. So these are some fees that I urge folks to be aware of or look into when they're working with a realtor, to make sure that they know what, they know what property it is and the fees that comes with that. And you factor those into your annual expenses as well.
I see, but how does property tax work in the U.S.? And how can somebody manage it from here?
Yeah, so it goes, I love that, because it goes through the lender, right? But then the lender pays an escrow. So when you're paying your mortgage, you're paying extra as well, which is an escrow on the side to go towards your taxes.
Right.
So now by the end of the year, some does it quarterly and others is half a year. So they take out a payment and pay for your taxes for you. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
And they pay that for you, and they let you know that they will send you an email to let you know, hey, we paid for this. This is how much it costs, so you don't have anything to worry about. That's how it works.
Okay. Let's now turn our attention to some of the mistakes people make, some of the risks, the pitfalls, and all of that. So tell us, what are some of the mistakes people make when they want to purchase properties in the U.S.?
I think one, not maybe rushing the process. Don't rush the process. Okay. don't be too hasty to get to the end of it. I would say take your time.
Right.
Take your time. Ask as many questions as possible. Like I said, do your homework first. Ask as many questions as possible. Talk to people around you as well. But it's doable. So make sure that you're just dotting your I's, crossing your T's, checking in with the right folks, reliable, folks that can help you out there. And don't rush the process. Just don't rush it.
So take your time. Make sure you understand everything that is going on every step of the way.
Yeah. Don't spend too. If you
don't
spend.
Okay.
If you're looking to purchase, there's no.
Then you need to save for some time.
Yeah. Save as much as you can. Don't spend heavy spending, as I mentioned, like lump sums back and forth just because you think you can, I don't know, get it back quickly or whatsoever. Yeah, try your very best to just minimize your expenses.
And that is to help your bank statements as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it helps with just that credibility that you're reliable, like you're good with finances.
Okay.
And you're not, because if I'm giving you $200K as a loan, I want to believe that you can manage that well. Yeah. And then out of that, every month, whatever it is you're supposed to pay to me, you can pay that.
Right.
That's all it is, right?
Okay.
So you can't be overspending and expect the person giving you the money to trust that you can manage that.
Yeah.
No. And you don't want to look like you're so dependent on your finances so much. Because then it's shaky a bit. It's hard to, so you don't want to spend too much at all. You want to show consistency, in your statements.
Your statements, right. But have you encountered a situation where someone was scammed?
Scamming.
Yes, how can people avoid that?
I would say, we're always, even in the States, we're always getting, as agents, we also get scammed as well with buyers and sellers. Oh yeah, it goes both ways. Anybody can get scammed these days. It's not just the agents, I guess, scamming the buyers or sellers. So I would say, make sure that you're doing your homework. So when I say homework now, whoever you're working with, you're contacting the business to make sure it's an actual broker, or it's an actual, like, this is a registered, licensed individual in that state, right? Because before an individual get their license, they're vetted out. We have to comply by so many regulations and make sure that we're trustworthy. We're getting information, like people's bank statements, people's personal life. When I work with a client, they end up becoming friends because we know so much about each other. I get to know so much about their life, where they live, who they live with, their finances, all these things. So we have to also go through a lot of, screening just to make sure that we can be agents or brokers. So if you're working with an agent or whoever, you want to make sure that you're making the right information, like you're getting the right information, you're doing the right research, who the person is, what agent they are, what broker they're working with, the company. I work with the largest broker in the U.S. I work with the largest broker in the U.S. We can't miss that. So if you're there and you go to their site, that reliable site, registered site, you can see who they are, what they're doing, and you want to make sure that's the person you want to work with, not just somebody in a hole somewhere, or that's just saying anything to you. Just don't take people by their word. You're also looking at documentations of the person. Like if I'm working with you, I want to be able to show you my license just to prove that. So you working with me, show me your state ID or whatever it is to prove that this is who you are. Let's meet in person. Like I'm open to that. Like I work with clients in Ghana. I meet with you. Let's talk. So we know who we're. Yeah. And if your person can't meet you, then
red flag.
If your person can't meet you, that's a red flag. Yeah.
Okay.
And even after you meet them, you're making sure you're looking at, passports, IDs, documentations, all these things. Yeah. So it's important. Everybody can easily get scammed. Okay. So look out for those things.
So how can someone verify that a realtor is licensed while they're living here?
It's a public record based, and you cannot, like, as a realtor, agent. So realtor is just being part of the NARS, NARS, right? But as an agent, you have to be, how do I say it? Like you have to be supported by a broker before you can get your license. So you can't just be a licensed agent. Well, you can be a licensed agent and not work because your license is not working and you're not with a broker. That means you're not an agent.
You're not an agent, right?
But if you're an agent who is like an agent, active agent, verified, you have to be under a broker. So now a broker has to now support you to say that this is an agent under my broker. And so you want to make sure that you're checking in with the broker as well, just to make sure, hey, is John Doe a part of this brokerage? And then, you confirm that.
Right. Okay, so you talked about some red flags, and one of them is that if they don't want to meet you, then so which other red flags should we look out for? And I know there are agents of agents.
Yes, because you could be a part of a team. Right. So I work with a large brokerage company. Within that, there's brokers as well, or teams that you can be a part of a team who are also agents. So you want to be mindful of who you're working with, so and even when they send you maybe links, you want to make sure you're looking at the link of the website and stuff to make sure that it's credible. Like it's not just any random fake website they're sending you just to prove anything, because it can trace you back to the main broker. So you want to look at that, like even if an agent or a team under the broker, they will still be working under that brokerage. So you want to look at the emails they're sending you, where the email is coming from, the website they're sending you, where when you're clicking in a link, be mindful of those things. Anything at all that may seem odd, don't take it lightly. Just further look into that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Exactly 44 minutes after 9. We have just a few minutes to go. But this is Business Breakfast on Z. If you just tuned in this morning, we're talking to Portia Asare. Portia Asare is a US-based Ghanaian realtor, and she's helping us understand how you can invest in properties in real estate in the United States. And it is very possible. Yes, it says it's very, very possible. There are just a few things to do, and then you can make that happen. If you want to join a conversation, feel free to send me a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019. You can as well call me on 030395661, 030395661. The phone lines are open, and feel free to call me, and then I give you the opportunity to ask any question at all or make a contribution. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. You can visit these platforms, and then you can play back this interview if there's anything you missed. Well, we'll try to wrap up now because our time is fast spent. Now, let's talk about managing the property, Portia. How does remote property management work for a Ghanaian buyer who doesn't live in the U.S.?
Okay, so you can work with the management company, and then they will work with you through their database, like their app system or their websites, to make sure that you're tracking who is coming in there, your monthly payments and stuff like that. If there's any issue, they also help you out with in Ghana they call it house guy per se, but in the States we have a name for it. It's like a handyman. So a handyman is like
someone who takes care of the place.
But a handyman is someone who is really handy. They know how to fix things. So handyman. So you have a handyman on call. So if there's something that the tenants need, you can easily call the handyman just to go in and check in for you as well. So it's not a heavy load, because you have a intermediary, you have someone, a management company in the middle for you to help you manage the property on that aspect. So yes,
that's
and
how
you
it
can
works.
communicate with them day in and day out, anytime, whenever you need to. In that, so.
But what does it cost to maintain a property in the US, say monthly or annually? I don't know if you can give a rough.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't know exactly how much it will cost, because it depends on the size of the unit as well, and how old or new the unit is, and what's really working and not working, and what's old and what's new, So it may vary. It can be little to nothing, or something huge and heavy, especially if it's related to let's say roofing, electrical, plumbing, those kind of major things, yes. Or it can be nothing, as in maybe just a scratch in a wall that you have to, or some, So it all depends. And okay, and another thing too, once you have your property and it's all set and done, you have it ready for rent, and let's say you bring in a tenant, in your contract with the tenant, you can state this in the contract. I think if anything is messed up, destroyed, ruined, they would have to pay for that.
Okay.
So you can put
and
it
once
in
they agree, then
once they agree, then they would be, because then they can be maintaining it and managing it. Because if everything is fixed and new and good, I'm sorry, but if it breaks, you fix. You pay.
Right. Okay.
And so it helps. That also helps tenants to be also mindful of how they keep the condition of your home.
Right.
Because if it's not, sometimes if those things are not in place, people will treat your property anyhow, and you don't want that, considering that you're not physically there all the time, and you want them to take care of it the way you would want to manage your own property. So you're always open to put these up in the contract with your tenants as well.
Okay, but are there companies or services that can handle everything for you, say from taxes to tenants to everything?
Yeah, taxes you don't have to worry about, because the mortgage lender company helps you with that.
Right.
And the management company will help you with your tenant issues, like any concerns coming in and out.
Okay.
And
so there are separate companies that do that. But
that
there's no one company that. I think that's a big opportunity to look at.
Yeah,
what do you think?
To look at that.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah. To handle the
whole flow.
Then
like,
you just own it.
You just sit back
and
hi.
That's a big
That's a
opportunity.
nice one. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah,
I
haven't thought about that.
I think
that's
so.
Good.
All right. Okay. So, like I said, we have to go soon. But what mindset shifts do you think Ghanaians need in order to start seeing global investment as something possible and not just for others? Yeah.
I would say this. Get into the mindset of wanting more. Desire for more. Look for more. Like, expect more.
You don't see that in Ghana?
Not really. We're very, I don't want to say complacent, but we're very like, we're good, we worry about today, and if I have to do this today, then that's it. It's okay. It's like, no, want more for yourself and your children's children. To build generational wealth is not for your children, it's actually for your grandkids.
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to leave a legacy that goes beyond your kids. So, and you have to think big.
Generational thinking.
Yes, think big. And I want my viewers and listeners listen to us right now to think outside the box. Think, if anything was possible, what would you do?
And go for it.
If it was really possible, if whatever it is that I'm talking to you right now was possible, what would you do? And it is. So now get up and do something about it.
So Ghanaians, we need a mindset shift.
We do. We need to shift it a bit. We need to be a little bit more proactive. We need to just step up a little bit more. Right. We need to be inquisitive. We need to inquire. Well, be inquisitive about the good things, right? Inquire more. Want to know more. Like, you have to desire to just like I'm curious. Be curious. So, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Okay. All right. So it's important. I mean, Portia said it. She says that you need to think deep and think wide, think very big. And that's how you'll be able to achieve all the things you want to achieve. But for someone listening to us who feels interested in the things we're talking about, but they don't know where to start from, what would you say to them?
I would say go online, or feel free to reach out to me. And I am Portia A on Instagram, or I am PortiaA@gmail.com. That is IAMPORTIAA. Just ask questions. That's all it takes. Go online, do your research. Like, is this possible? Can foreigners buy in the United States? Can non-citizens buy in the United States? Who can buy in the United States? How can I invest in the United States real estate market? Let's use our browsing power, that data. Let's use it well, you know?
Instead of TikToking and all
right. And those dance moves But I love that about Ghana. You know, we enjoy
Someone
we
says,
enjoy music.
someone says that in Ghana, all you need is data to be happy.
That's right. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All they need is a little data to be happy.
Yeah.
And it's true. But you know what? Now let's be happy and make money and
right.
make wealth, build wealth. You know, something that our kids can come back to and take on and just say, all right, let me push this forward. Like, you can be in Ghana and be getting paid in dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's happening. You can be here and be getting paid in dollars. And have you ever heard of anyone willing to help you just like that? Just give me the documentation. Let's prove this. Let's do this. And then I give you a mortgage. If you, like, it's really doable. It's possible. So I want our Ghanaians not just to have fun and, you know, listen to the good music and all of that, but let's also do some homework and research on this. Reach out to someone. Just ask and see where it goes from there, because it's possible. It is.
All right. Is there anything we haven't spoken about? I haven't asked you that you think that everybody needs to know?
I think we've covered almost everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've covered almost everything.
All right. So maybe your final words, and then we can go.
My final words. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. Like, I am super grateful. My final words to the Ghanaian community is that not to limit themselves, not to underrate themselves, you know, not to think that this is it for them. There's so many other opportunities out there. The foreign buyers in the United States in real estate was over, I think, almost $60 billion coming from Mexico, China, UK, and I'm like, India, and I'm like, Africa too. Where are we? Ghana, where are we? Like, we can do this, especially, you know, we do vice versa. Like, we want the diaspora to also come to Ghana. Yeah. It's big here. Let's do it. Let's push here. But also, let's think about pushing there for it to come back to us here. Right? We want our money to flow. And then, so this conversation can go on and on. I would say this. Let's just do our very best to think out the box a little bit. When opportunity comes, be willing to just inquire about it, step into it. Like, figure out how you can also be a part of that.
And we are very skeptical.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We doubt so much. We are always hesitant about things. And I understand. I mean, if you want to put your money somewhere, especially your hard-earned money, you want to make sure that this is it. So I want you to also make sure that this is it. Yeah. Like, you're speaking to a reliable, trusted agent who's part of a larger broker that can't run or go anywhere whatsoever. So that can give you the right information from the right source, right? Yeah. And when I talk about this, I'm so passionate about this because I think about trading in Ghana. That's our foremost profession, right? Almost everyone trades, right? So all the trading that we're doing, you buy and sell, and you're having all these transactions. You think it's small, but look at what that small can get you. That's all I'm asking. Go find out, what can this small of mine get me in the United States? That's it. That includes the folks in the markets, the folks on the street, in the corner somewhere, in a small kiosk somewhere, whatever. Ask. I have this small 20 Ghana cedis. 20. Oh no, that's too small. Wait. But I mean, okay, let's say I had a small 20,000 Ghana cedi. What can it get me?
Right.
And then let's go from there. Let's talk about this. Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Thank you so much. It's been a great conversation.
I really appreciate it.
Really grateful. And I mean, kudos to you for the work you're doing, making sure that you put this opportunity out there for people to look beyond what they are seeing in Ghana. I think it's a commendable thing. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
And really grateful that you came.
Thank you. Same here. I hope you can have me here again.
Definitely. As long as you're still in Ghana, we can arrange something and then come over. All right. So that was Portia Asari. Portia is a US-based Ghanaian realtor, and she's come back with a lot of opportunities, and she's sharing with everybody so that we get to know how you can do some real estate business while you are living here. You can purchase a property in the US and still earn some money, whether